Hey everyone, Dan Swinsko from Peak Sports and Spine, back with you again. This is going to be the second of 3 videos talking about how to get through these acute episodes of low back pain when this happened to you during the sequestered time when everybody's stuck at home and you don't want to go to the emergency room because of obvious reasons with the COVID virus. So remember, the first video, the key theme of that was number 1, breathe diaphragmatically, take out some of that sympathetic tone out of your body. Your muscles will soften, your mind will feel better, your body will feel better. That's important, don't overlook it. Number 2, when you move in a way that you expect to hurt, lock down those lats. Remember, it's arms down, not back, down. That will connect all the way from your shoulder blade to your rear end, but the place where you're gonna feel it is in the armpit area. So just know that if you feel tension here, it's working all the way back there. Create that protective corset on purpose for a while your back is sensitive. As you do more and more things without pain, it gets less sensitive, so you don't have to lock down your lats like before to get out of a chair comfortably. It'll go back to the way it was before. But while you're in that point of need, lock those babies down. Another thing that'll work if you have the ability to have your feet in good contact with the ground is to think about trying to use the friction between your feet to go apart from one another as you stand up from a chair. If the lat lock doesn't work, that certainly will. But remember, there's times where your feet aren't in contact with the ground, like rolling in bed, like getting in and out of your car, etc. Combine those two, it works great. A third one that will often work is to pretend like there's a string around your 2 big toes, say that's this, and try to tear the string. So instead of, if this is my feet, instead of my legs thinking about going this way, they're thinking about going that way. So if you rise from a chair and you're doing the lat lock as best you can and you still hurt a bit, or if you're doing this as best you can, you still hurt a bit, try that. I've never had to use any more than one of those 3 to get people out of pain. So find one of them, practice. The other thing I want to reiterate from last time is how important it is to learn to hinge and not to bend. The way we teach people oftentimes is with a stick. This could be a broom or a golf club or a ski pole, just a tactile cue to keep a straight line on the back of your body as you come forward like this. And remember, we're hinging, not bending. If I bend forward like this and I have back pain, that will probably bother me. If I hinge forward, it won't. Notice the contact of the stick from your butt to your back to the back of your head. Keep all 3. The one people seem to lose is the one on the back. So they'll do like this. See that disconnect spot right there? It should look like this. So use the back of your hand and physically hold it there and train yourself to move like that. It might feel strange at first if it's new to you. Doesn't make it wrong. It's just that you're not used to it. Kind of like trying to sign your name with the other hand. It won't feel right. Nothing wrong with it though. So keep in mind, hinge, lock those lats down, or use the ground if you're capable of it when you're getting out of a chair, etc. Now, next phase. Things are starting to get better. You're ready to kind of move a little bit. You've been doing your walks, you've been doing all your stuff, and it's getting desensitized. Now we're going to start talking about 2 things. Number 1 is just getting out of bed and doing a little bit of prep work. We just call those knee sways. Super simple. I'll show you those first. And then the daily big 3. The big 3 again is from Stu McGill. Those are 3 exercises clustered together that have been extremely well researched to be helpful for not just rehab but also performance. I personally believe that right now you're going to be doing it because you're hurting. But when you're feeling fine, do it every day like I do. I feel like if you've had the good fortune of waking up today, you're gonna do your big 3. Simple as that. It's so simple, it's 3 minutes. Is it inconvenient? As inconvenient as 3 minutes is. How long does it take you to brush your teeth? You probably do that every day. You might even do it more than once. So do the big 3 to get yourself out of pain. Keep doing the big 3 to just keep your core sharp. I have people think of it like a cup of coffee. I know I perform better if you give me a cup of coffee in the morning. This is my cup of coffee for my core. Simple as that. It's not meant to be fitness, okay? You're not gonna feel the burn, or if you do, not much. You're not gonna get super tired. You're certainly not gonna sweat. It's just the daily big 3 to wake up the muscles around your body to get you ready for the day. That's why they're in the morning. Don't do the big 3 before night. You don't need to get your muscles prepared just to sleep, okay? So let me go over knee sways, then the daily big 3. We don't need the stick anymore. Here's knee sways. Knee sways are Imagine you just woke up first thing in the morning and you're gonna get to your back. If you're lying on your side, then you will lat lock to get there comfortably. Once you come to your side, or your back rather, your knees and feet are together. You're lying comfortably on your back, and you're just going to sway them a couple of inches left, a couple of inches right. And at a frequency of about 1 per second. That's important. The neurology down there responds to a 1 per second frequency better. So just think tick, tock, tick, tock. And notice I'm not going very far, but if you pay attention to the skin on the lower part of your back, you will feel that that little small deflection of your knees creates movement all the way up here. So I'm all the way through all of my lumbar segments by this tiny little movement. It's not a stretch. I'm not cranking over, all right? I'm moving. It's WD-40 for your back. It's gentle tension along the wall of the disc to help it heal. And it's inhibitory to muscle guarding. Super simple. The hardest part is not having your feet slide on your sheets and trying to not to make it something bigger than it is. It's a simple movement, keep it simple, okay? After about 3 minutes of that, lock your lats, roll like a log, come out of bed. Go to the bathroom, do what you gotta do, then we're gonna come to the floor and do our daily big three. The big three, again, is these three that go together. The first one is a modified curl up, not a sit up. Sit ups are gonna be full and they're gonna create shear force through the lumbar spine, and there's not a faster way to wear down a disc than with that. And that's based on, again, McGill's research. So what we're going to do is something much smaller than that. It doesn't look like much, depending on your fitness level. It may not even feel like much, but it's a cup of coffee, right? We're just gonna wake up that superficial abdominal wall. Here's how we do it. One leg bent, one leg straight, doesn't matter which. Hands in the small of your back like a little lumbar roll. And then you're going to essentially come forward with your head like that. I just tell people, look at your belly button. And back down. It's a very small motion. That's all it's meant to be, is wake up your abdominal wall. If you put one hand on your tummy and you lift up your head, you'll feel those muscles turn on. That's the idea. All we're doing is waking them up. Just a cup of coffee, not fitness. But we also don't want to create back pain either, right? We're trying to solve it right now. And all we ask for is 10. If you can get to 10 unremarkably, you've earned the right to add a breath. And here's what we do. Just like that. Try to make it a diaphragmatic breath so you see your tummy go up and down. If you have issues with your neck, you just haven't gotten used to lifting your head very much. So if your neck wears out and you just can't do very many, hang in there, let your neck limit you, and eventually you will get there. The muscles on the front of your neck are just like abs. They have to lift this. And if they're not accustomed to that, your head's gonna feel heavy. Make sure your head goes this direction, not that direction. That's a one-way ticket to neck pain eventually. We don't want that either. Look down. Look down. All we're asking for is 10. I don't care if you can do 100. All we're asking for is 10. It's the daily big three. It's not fitness, okay? Next thing we're gonna do, lock your lats if you need to, is to come over to your side and we're gonna do a side plank. What level of side plank depends on you. So, side plank 101. When we get into a side plank, we're about to put body weight on our arm. It's probably not used to that, so you gotta prepare it, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a fist, because anytime you squeeze your hand really hard, shoulder and core muscles turn on a little bit, we're gonna take advantage of that. Squeeze, and then if you notice if I'm here relaxed versus here, I call that pushing the earth away. So I squeeze, I push the earth away to get my shoulder ready to handle body weight, and then I give it some body weight, and this is the level 1 side plank. I made my body short, I'm already here, and there it is. Your goal is 30 seconds. When you can do 30 seconds unremarkably, then you're gonna need to move it up, just like with the other one, and come up a little harder. How to make it harder? The way you do that is to make your body a little longer. Squeeze your fist, push the earth away, come up in the same level 1 position, but then press your hips forward. And that's level 2. So ear, shoulder, hip, knee, straight line. I made my body a little longer. It's a little harder. When it's time for level 3, same fist, same shoulder. Now what I'm going to do is have my 2 feet, instead of stacked, one in front of the other. The top leg goes in front, connect your heel and toe, and there I am. 30 seconds later, I'm done, and I go to the other side, okay? The last thing we're gonna do is the bird dog. The bird dog has the most to think about. Every limb has something you need to remember. So I'll face forward and I'll face sideward, go over the bird dog, okay? Or maybe I'll try a diagonal, that might work better. So I'm gonna be on my hands and knees. Note my toes are like this, not that, okay? Essentially what I'm gonna do is this, but we need to think about what we're doing so we get the most out of it. Your hand in the air is going to be a fist, strong fist. Your foot in the air is gonna be driving through the heel. But notice I'm reaching back towards the wall behind me, not up. When I reach back, my spine stays in the same position. When I come up, I create this arching thing. I don't want the arching thing. I want to stay put. So I'm going to drive that heel straight back. Notice my foot's off the ground, but not by very much. My fist is right there. So the 2 in the air, that's what I do. For the hand on the ground, I'm going to try to grasp the ground almost like I'm palming a basketball, and then I'm going to twist it in the direction of my pinky. Now, my hand position should be my middle finger at 12 o'clock. And when I twist, I don't actually move. I'm just creating tension that way. And when I do that, I'm gonna lock down that lat. Remember your lat, how much important was to when you lock it down to move? Well, that's what we're getting to work now in this time also. So I'm gonna squeeze the ground as best I can, twist towards my pinky, and then my foot on the opposite side, I'm putting pressure in my toe, like I'm about to run forwards. So I've got grasp and twist on my left hand into the ground, load into my toes on the right foot, reach with my fist and my heel, and there's 1/2 of 1 rep. Then I'm going to engage the ground with my left foot and grab and twist towards my pinky with my right arm to lock down that lat. Then I make a fist here and reach my heel there, and that's it. When you get better, make each rep last a breath or 2, and that way you can train yourself to have stability with breathing instead of stability holding your breath, which is not sustainable. So you don't want to train that. So when I actually do it, I close my mouth and breathe through my nose so I can hear it, and that kind of makes me conscious of my breathing the right way. So here's how one repetition would look. Grasp, push, fist, heel. And I lock into the ground first. Just like that. So I breathe 2 times per rep. All we're asking for is 5. So in total, your big 3 is 10 reps, if you can, of the modified curl up with a breath, if you're able to. 30 seconds of side plank, level 1, 2, or 3, whatever's right for you. And then 5 repetitions each way with the bird dog. Grand total, it's going to be about 3 minutes. Not a big demand. But you're going to really be impressed with how things start feeling good. People, when they're in pain, start doing that. They just recognize they can start doing things better. The pain goes less. The amount of care and caution they have to move with is less. They start feeling less brittle, less fragile. So there you are. There's kind of stage 2. Keep up with your lat lock as you need to. Keep up with your walking. Increase it as your ability increases. You're probably shooting for 30 minutes total, and then once you can get to a 30 minute as a max length, once you can get to a 30 minute, I'd throw in a second walk if you can. We talked about, or maybe we didn't talk about sitting. We talked about standing out of sitting. One of the big challenges of back pain is to sit comfortably, and all I'd say is put a pillow under your butt. The higher your hip relative to the height of your knee, the more comfortable. Another way of thinking it is don't have your butt in a bucket, have your butt on a bar stool. If only we could go to a bar right now. Try to keep your sense of humor up there. Sooner or later, this whole virus garbage will be behind us, and we'll remember that we got through it together. Any questions, put them in the comment section. If you like this, please share it, or please even subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate you and hope to see you in person sometime soon.